I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see third-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans as they take on the new man, Nick Foles, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we are 15 miles due west of the Atlantic, nestled in downtown Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Houston Texans. From the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. And Charles, is AFC South, the only division with 3 teams over 500 a year ago. Now, here in 2019, this may be the most wide-open division in the National Football League.
In addition, it's a really improved division because for years, remember, Indianapolis ran this division. Then Houston popped up and they took over. Jacksonville almost went to the Super Bowl just 2 seasons ago. And Tennessee was in the playoffs 2 years ago and almost got back there again last year. You're exactly right. This is a wide-open division. Should be a fun one to watch.
So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And off we go from Jacksonville. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. There's Nick Foles ready to bring out this Jacksonville offense. Nick was the MVP of Super Bowl 52, of course. Signed the big money deal to take over as the starting quarterback following the 5-year run of Blake Bortles, who wound up in L.A. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year bank from LSU. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
And here comes Leonard Fournette, the big, and I mean big, tailback out of LSU. When he takes the ball inside, people make decisions about whether they want to tackle him or not, and he has enough speed to get to the perimeter and outrun defensive backs. When he puts it all together, he makes the Jaguars' offense very difficult.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Throwing on second down, Foles. He hits blue. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. Here's Foles. Looking for his running back, and he's got him.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. DeAndre Carter is deep for the Texans. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Leading the Texans onto the field here is Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, pretty good in Week 8 in that victory for Houston over Oakland. And you look at Watson's numbers on the season, impressive. 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. But that Week 8 performance was pretty solid. A late touchdown pass to win it.
And that's not something we haven't seen before from Deshaun Watson. When the game's on the line, team may be down later, you need the big drive. He's a pretty good guy to put the ball in his hands. And how about this one? He ends up taking a boot to the face, stunned him for a little bit, gathered himself, and found Darren Fells in the end zone for the winning touchdown. I think after the game he mentioned it felt very Brett Favre-ish to be able to make that kind of a late drive and play through a little adversity to get it done.
They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
Here we go. Watch time. Tight end right.
To throw again on second down. Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And time to take a look at the Jaguar defense.
Let's get a little bit bigger light shined right here because we're talking about 2 guys. Cornerbacks Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Boye. Maybe the best tandem in the NFL. Both physically able to dominate receivers. They're textbook examples of shutdown corners. Collectively, they allowed only 2 touchdowns the entire 2018 season.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, here's Watson. Out to his left. He can run for it. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Jags grab it. And some room to roam now. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Houston takes the field again here offensively. That Week 8 game that we discussed earlier, Charles, ultimately was a tough one for the Texans because of what happened on the defensive side, and that's the news of J.J. Watt done for the year with a torn pectoral muscle. What does that mean for this team going forward?
I think it means the identity of this team has to shift a little bit because as well as Deshaun Watson has played, and he's the quarterback, and usually you're the face of the franchise, let's be frank about it. J.J. Watt's the face of the Houston franchise, and they've been good on defense for a long time. So now this truly becomes Deshaun Watson's team during the absence of J.J. Watt, and he's going to have to play to a huge level, which he's been doing throughout this year. Now they go to London. I think that helps where the team gets away, gets the band together. They'll play Jacksonville there. And that's the final London game of this season. Then they get an open week, and then they go to Baltimore. And that game will be huge.
On second down now, it's Miller. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Miller. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their second-year punter, Trevor Daniel. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. I want to get your big picture thoughts on the Jaguars as their offense comes back out here. Because after that Week 8 win against the Jets, they're now 4-4. They've won 2 in a row. We talked about Gardner Minshew's play. They're going to London to face, who do they play? The Texans in Week 9. What do you think of this crew going forward?
They've got a chance. They've got a good chance. And I know they've got to chase down the Colts, but they get 2 games against the Colts later on this year. But now they've won 2 straight games. Both of them since Jalen Ramsey got traded to the Rams. Now understand this, the team liked Jalen Ramsey. Within the locker room, no problem with him. But it's people like you and me, the media, asking them about what's going on with Jalen, what's happening. That's gone now. They just get to play. So I think this team will continue to elevate, and they will be a force down the stretch. Look out. In the AFC South, they will contend.
Them playing in London, by the way, it's 7th straight year they've played over there. So.
Oh, they love to play there.
They do.
They love. Ownership has already told the NFL if there's a London game, they want to be involved.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Foles. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since that the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Let's go. Mike 55, Mike 55. We own them. We own them. Check 9, check 9.
On the draw, here's Blue. And unable to get downhill there, so take this up to about the 37. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
41's the mic. Hey, check.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. He's going to air one, and that's caught inside the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on 3rd and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away for me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, you hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
That's got to be a long...
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant. Here we go.
They'll run on 2nd down with Blue. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Foles. And that will be incomplete.
Intended for James O'Shaughnessy.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So on 4th down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Lambo is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive. But they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambo to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. All right, here we go.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, at these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's got the hook up to Miller. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt.
On the ball! On the ball! On the ball! On the ball!
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Benardrick McKinney, a first-time Pro Bowler a season ago, in on the tackle there.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight.
They're going to look to throw. He's got his tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Be alert. Be alert. Hey, here we go.
Fournette running out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Check 41. Switch.
On 2nd and 7, Foles. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. He'll buy some time, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Watson. And Thomas has it. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Thomas, 72 yards. As his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now.
Makes the score Jaguars 10.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open is Swain, the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And now out comes Houston. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Showing some tough running there. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watson now going to run the option right. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, Watson. He may try and run for this. And he slides to avoid the hit. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
I got you.
Watson with a give to Miller. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter two as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. They'll roll him out right. And avoids the contact by sliding. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Miller. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Really good stop there by the end in this 4-3 defense.
Yeah, not just pass rushers anymore, are they? Those guys can use their hands, control the point of attack, shed those blockers, and go get those ball carriers.
They'll try the air now with Watson. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 28.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Set. 19. 44. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
On first down, it's Watson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, and his throw is incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for, and it's 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Watson now to throw on 3rd down. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Lambeau on for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so that maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do. Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Watson operating from the gun. They'll find Miller. That's complete. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Lamar Miller. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
Now it's Miller. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Texans on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Watson. Complete to Jones.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. They begin with a carry for Blue. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage is coming through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
I got you, Pop.
Here's Foles. He completes it to Westbrook. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll toss it to Fournette. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Leonard Fournette takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They go draw here. Blue. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 11. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Thomas has got it. Complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson, he's got his tight end. It's Fells. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Let's go.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, Watson, his throw incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, but it'll be second down. Well, Charles, 18 of the 32 teams have now played 8 games, half their season. The other 14 will reach the midway point next week, so we'll save the midseason grades and awards until then. But
thank you. I like that.
We'll wait on that, but let's look at a few underperforming teams thus far that have played 8 games, and you tell me what you think their final record's going to be. Let's start with the Chargers at 3-5.
Big win in Chicago on Sunday. I like them to go 5-3 down the stretch, and that gives them 8 wins. Actually, have them go 6-2. I think they're going to go 9-7.
Ooh, right there on the edge of the playoffs. Okay, let's stay in the AFC West. How about the Broncos at 2-6 right now?
I just don't see that offense improving. I think that they win 2 more games and go 4-12.
Okay. And Giants 2-6. They're underperforming.
Yeah, but their schedule really lightens up on the back end. They're playing hard. I'm going to give them 6 wins, 6-10.
Lastly, I might duck under the table when you answer this one. The Falcons at 1-7.
That's a tough one because I wonder about what's going to happen with their head coach. But I think they'll play better down the stretch. 4 wins, 4-12.
You're off the hot seat, my friend.
Thank you.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Miller. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Set. 19. Mike 47. Get the ball.
Watson on 1st down. That's caught. It's DeAndre Carter. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
1st down, Texans.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now Watson's throw is taken in by QT. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Now Foles. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Partner, earlier I asked you about some teams that were underperforming so far. Well, right now let's play a game arrow up, arrow down. I'll give you teams that are kind of in the middle of the pack. You tell me if they're going to go up or down second half of the season. Let's start with the Raiders at 3 and 4.
Arrow up. I think they're going to beat the teams they're supposed to beat, and they will beat someone good down the stretch.
Okay. Now Jacksonville, they're 500 right now, 4 and 4.
Yeah, but their division is conducive to their arrow going up. Gardner Minshew playing well. Maybe Nick Foles comes back, and I like that defense.
Okay, the Lions got a win last week to get to 3-3-1. How about them?
Don't like their division. Minnesota, Green Bay within division. Unfortunately, arrow down.
Lastly, how about the Panthers, 4 and 3?
Defense is supposed to travel. That was a tough one in San Francisco last Sunday. Still think.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Bradley Roby, the ex-Buckeye, with a corner blitz and the sack.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. A nice run on first down gets him 6 yards to the 31. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Watson. It's caught. It's Miller. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a third down.
Yeah, baby.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now it's Watson, and he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now a first down throw, Watson. Got an open man, it's QT. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
A gain of 4. It's now second and 6 at the 42-yard line.
It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. To throw again on second down. Watson, open man is QT, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Watson looks to throw again. And Thomas has it. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in the Watson in the offense going to come up first and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Calais Campbell picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long. From the gun, here's Watson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 28-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Brought down back at the 19-yard line.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando. That's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Second half begins with a run from Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Foles on the handoff, going to give it to Blue. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Foles. And this is going to be incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, The way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin with a run by Miller. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
False start, offense.
That's on the 1st-round pick, number 23 overall, Titus Howard.
Still 3rd down.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down.
Switch up, switch up. Go.
A shotgun snap for Watson, sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll look to throw. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Open is Swaim, the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Foles now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On 2nd down now. Blue. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Foles. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The pickup there, 5 yards.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
First and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. On 1st down, it's Blue. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
So don't say nothing.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee, 40 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now Doug Moreau not even hesitating. They're going to go for 2.
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
Foles will look to throw. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here I come again. Trying to go.
Again, it's Miller. And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the 2nd straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Watson. He's got Fuller. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Texans send the punter out as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Gearing up for their next possession, Nick Foles and the Jags. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. DJ Reader able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He hits Blue. And down he'll go at the 25.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Here comes Carter. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They go play action here on 1st down, and that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. With that incompletion, let's take a quick peek ahead to Week 9, some of the intriguing games. First off, one that you're calling. How about the red-hot Vikings at the Chiefs? That's going to be fun.
That's going to be a blast, and I made a prediction last week that if the Chiefs lost to the Packers at home, if there was any way possible Patrick Mahomes would play against Minnesota, they're going to try their best to have him ready for that when they need him. Hard to believe the Chiefs have lost 3 in a row at home.
How about the Sunday night game, too? Patriots-Ravens.
Yeah, that's going to be a heck of a ball game because the Patriots defense, historical proportions is what we're seeing from them. But here comes Lamar Jackson with his elusiveness at quarterback. That's going to be a blast to see how they game plan for his legs.
Bears and Eagles, those teams need that win.
Yeah, the Eagles got a huge one last week, going to Buffalo and winning against a stout defense. The Bears, once again, missing a field goal. That rears its ugly head. The Bears absolutely, positively have to have this one.
And then lastly, the game of the week, Jets-Dolphins.
Yeah, someone's got to win that one, right? And if I were the Jets, I'd be very concerned about this one. I think this is the one the Dolphins circled on their calendar, circled on their schedule. This is the one the Dolphins may very well go get.
Watson now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. It's complete to Fuller. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Check, 47. I'm coming.
Watson now going to run the option right. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
19. We don't want this.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Josh Allen in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
That's the end of the third quarter of play. With the score, Jaguars 28, Texans 7.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
You got nothing.
Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
He can run for it, and he will. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. They'll run. It's Miller. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller taking it in. And the Texans get a bit closer. Showing some grits and some guts going for it there. 4th and goal, pounding it in.
And being rewarded for that confidence in the team, huh? The coach saying, let's go ahead and get this. And how about the guys up front firing out, finding a little bit of a crack for them to get through? Touchdown. I love it.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14.
Makes the score, Jaguars 28.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And Lamar Miller caps it off with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They begin with a run by Fournette. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
180. I got it. I got double tight. Double tight.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. To throw is Watson. Flushed it, and he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Calais Campbell getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Now it's Watson. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And the catch made by Hopkins. They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Watson. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes where people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now a first down throw, Watson. He's got the hook up to Miller.
Watson's pass complete to Lamar Miller. He's out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Again, it's Watson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. A.J. Bouye, the fine quarterback, there to make the play defensively.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Back to throw, Watson. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Foles. He's got his tight end, O'Shaughnessy. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A shotgun give to Fournette. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to take it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You taking charge. 4th and 1. 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 4th and
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Foles toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And finding Keelan Cole. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll run it again with Fournette. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there and a 1st down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Fournette. Up to make the stop, the Texans' leading tackler a year ago, Zach Cunningham.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. On the draw, here's Blue. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Watch the pass.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
So this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll find O'Shaughnessy open left side. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on second and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Here's Fournette, and that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This to make it a 3-score game late. The kick by Lambeau is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On first down, it's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. He got it stripped. You can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him, because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you. In this case, it didn't matter. He was able to get on it.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
He's forced out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Now a desperation throw deep down, and that is intercepted by the Pro Bowler Jalen Ramsey. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 34-yard line.
Here we go. 180. Watch the slant. Here we go.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.